How are you, Zexi? Thank you so much for coming to our show. Could you describe the situation and the feelings about the beginning of the protest occupied the center Ottawa?
Said the methods they used were quite literally sound torture. Um, every single day from the day it began, day and night, all day, all night, they blew their horns. And it sounds a little silly, I know, to a lot of people, but to understand the level at which we were being the level of the noise that we were being subjected to, they regularly reached over 100 decibels. That's torturous, and it was constant, extremely and incredibly loud, and being right next to that can cause instant hearing damage. And we didn't choose to be a part of this. It's a torture method that's used by various institutions all around the world, and it's recognized for that. And really, I can't believe that it took so long to acknowledge the damage that did. And even in addition to that, obviously we know about the diesel fumes that are in the air. The air quality in Ottawa is horrible now because of these individuals. There are not only people with existing medical conditions that will suffer gravely from this, but it can easily cause even more medical problems for many of the residents here. And further to that, the blatant disregard for the law resulted in the escalation of their disregard for the law. They saw no consequences for anything that they were doing when there should have been consequences right away. And as a result of that, they became emboldened. They they harassed residents for just wearing a mask. If you were even wearing a mask, you were an instant target. I personally have been targeted by this. They scream at you that you're a sheep, that you should take off your mask, that you don't need that. One man had the gall to say, "You have such a pretty smile, your mask is hiding that," while ranting and raving about the craziness that was going on. That's not to mention the countless businesses that have suffered, and also, going back to this point, the literal verbal abuse that was being thrown at so many people just for living their lives. Over 100 decibels, often 120 decibels or more, blaring at you just for exercising your own freedoms, the very thing that they were purporting they were here for.
What was the trigger that you want to use law to protect you and the residents around you in Ottawa?
I organized a meeting. About, I would say, 25, 20 of my neighbors joined me in voicing our concerns and saying, this is what's happening to us and we need help. There was a lawyer who lived in my building who saw the initiative that I took and appreciated the leadership I demonstrated there. And he had asked me if it would be all right for him to forward my name to Paul Champ, my lawyer. Um, because Paul was working on this class action suit. But I had a call with Paul Champ, and he explained to me what they were trying to do with the class action suit. And specifically, he talked to me about the injunction that we would be seeking to stop this irreparable harm from continuing. And when he told me about what he wanted to do, and when he told me that they needed a name to put on the case, and that nothing could happen without that name, I agreed right away. Like, it wasn't something that I really thought about. My first reaction was, yes, this can help. I believe that it can help. And I'm not frivolous. I'm not stupid. Of course, I know that there would be consequences, but I know myself, and I knew that I would be able to take it. I can handle this kind of thing, and that whatever hate, harassment, or threats that would be directed my way, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest. Believe it or not, I personally am able to recognize that whoever is sending these hate-filled messages, these threats to my person, these people don't matter. Of course, if it's a threat, I just send it off to the police because you should be held accountable for that. But in terms of the hate and harassment and the lies that are being spread about me, everyone who knows me knows that they're not true. Everyone who knows me thinks it's ridiculous, and I feel the exact same way. So why would I pay any heed to the ramblings again of people who don't matter to me at the end of the day? What I didn't necessarily think about so much was the overwhelming messages of support that I've received from honestly all over the country. It was very reassuring to me that not only those that are directly affected, but those that witness the situation recognize what is being done here and recognize the gravity of the situation and can appreciate the suffering that we're going through. And those messages mean so much more than anything else ever could, you know? So being able to focus on that is just, it gives me strength. I love the Chinese community as well. I'm proud of my heritage. I lost my ability to speak Chinese when I was quite young. So I just didn't have the opportunity to practice my Mandarin or my Cantonese, so I eventually lost it. But you know, I like to make mooncakes on during the Lunar Festival. I like to follow certain Chinese media. I am a Chinese Canadian at the end of the day, even if I'm not as close to the community as I would like to be. But maybe I can hope that will change in time. I think the language barrier is the biggest thing for me because I know how important it is for us as Chinese people, and it's honestly been shameful for me my entire life. Um, but even despite all of that, I hope that I can make the Chinese community proud.